I had no idea who the guy was, and at the time, Chris Lieben was smashing people.
It was hard to imagine how Anderson was going to beat Chris Lieben.
He gets in there with me and I knock him out. He may want to go back to Japan or somewhere where the competition's a little easier.
I was there front row, and I thought, I don't know, I think you might live to regret those words, Chris.
Oh, Chris Lieben's right. And Lieben goes down.
Turns out Anderson hits a little harder than most guys.
Chris Lieben goes down again. The debut of Anderson Silva lasts less than 1 minute.
When he destroyed Lieben, I said, man, if you keep destroying people like that, nobody's going to want to fight you. And he was like, oh, I hope not. I want to fight. I need to make money.
Honestly, RC, I think the word GOAT gets thrown around way too easy in fight sports. The only person that doesn't get passed is Muhammad Ali. Anderson Silva was to MMA what Muhammad Ali was to boxing.
Yeah. Silva fight, when I watched, it was with Rich Franklin. No, with Chris Lieben. It was with Chris Lieben, before when he became champion.
That was his debut.
Yeah, it was his debut? Yeah, I watched this fight. It's like, he looked great. And I think about, wow, this guy is like different level.
Skinny black boy can beat anyone. So yeah, he was the guy that kind of put that in my head.
I am a big fan of Anderson Silva. I always like when he knocked out the Vitor Belfort, this front kick. That was amazing.
Ele nocautear daquela forma com frontal.
Após aquela luta, o MMA, principalmente o MMA, no Brasil,
I think Anderson Silva's legacy is going to be remembered as the guy that kind of changed everything, right? He was not only a fantastic fighter, but he was cool, right? Like, he was cool, let's just say it. He was a cool guy that could really, really fight. From the days of him dancing like Michael Jackson on the way to the ring, to him walking out the DMX in the UFC. He was always just like kind of a cool guy.
He's the monster in the UFC, and this is the best Winston of all time.
I think he has the best title reign in the history of the sport. The guys he faced, the guys he beat, how he did it was spectacular. I think he's for me, pound for pound GOAT.
So Anderson went on quite a run after Chris Lieben.
Anderson Silva against Rich Franklin. Middleweight championship is on the line.
Rich Franklin, who'd spent years here, made it to the top of the world. It looked like it was his first day.
Damaged ribs.
To the face.
Caught him again. Franklin's in trouble. High
Rich
kick
is in
by
trouble.
Silva.
Another knee to the
Down
head.
goes Franklin. Anderson Silva is lethal.
If you want to talk about highlights from Anderson Silva, the first one that comes to mind is Vitor Belfort.
Second. Oh! He front kicked him in the face. Anderson Silva remains the middleweight champion.
He definitely did a good job being innovative with his striking.
Let me tell you something. Not only is that the first time I've ever seen anybody knock a guy out with a front kick in MMA, in any contact sport.
I've only seen that in a video game.
Anderson Silva was the big one for a long time, so fighters like emulated him.
What's crazy is this is after the Anderson Silva fight, which was the first front kick knockout we ever watched.
Look at that front kick. The exact same shot that we saw Vitor Belfort get hit with by Anderson Silva. Straight up the middle. Ball of the foot. Reminds me of Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva's been an inspiration for generations.
He was a Jedi. He was like the enlightened master of MMA.
Oh, Silva dancing around. Oh, my.
Got us thinking he wasn't even human.
Dude's from a movie, man.
Talk about a guy who can intimidate you without even being in there. Anderson had that.
He is so above and beyond everyone else he's fought against. It seems like he's fighting in a different dimension.
But he was the Medusa. He turned opponents to stone, right? Any flinch, any fake, it's just to get a guy to pause.
He wants you to kind of come forward and come get me. He's baiting you. He's setting traps for you.
Artist of all time.
He made the top guys in the world look easy just over and over and over and over again.
He will be talked about for decades.
Let's get this straight. For a handful of years, no one could come close to him. He was the baddest fucking dude on the planet.
Luter's got a hold of him. This is exactly what he wanted. This is bad for Patrick.
Locked up. And it is over. Travis Luter is the ultimate fighter.
Travis, congratulations. You are the winner. And more importantly, you get a shot at Anderson Silva.
Jitsu. Oh, flying knee. And he's had some great success over guys with similar styles to Anderson Silva.
I thought I had a very good chance of beating him because of my wrestling, and I had really good jiu-jitsu. You know, I thought I was going to knock him out.
Anderson
Silva.
But he's tough, you know. It's like I saw his eyes roll back. I hit him again, his eyes popped open, and he was good to go. He got up kicked.
Nice up kick, triangle choke. Triangle choke.
You know, and then it was like, man, I'm going to go to sleep.
He's got it in.
In that flash of an instance, it's like, man, what if I fucking piss myself or shit myself on live TV? I ended up tapping.
Travis Lutter tapped, and Anderson Silva is victorious.
You know, I've regretted it ever since. I should have just taken my ass beat, is what I should have done.
At the time, the UFC had bought Pride. I held 2 different belts at 205 pounds and 185. I was a double champ at the time, so I came over and started with title fights right away in UFC.
Dan Henderson is a tough-as-nails veteran who's been around forever.
Champion against champion.
The first round started about how I wanted, took him down once I got a hold of him and stayed on top the rest of the round. In the second round, I remember getting in the clinch with him. Instead of doing what I could to keep him there, I just kind of decided to take a little breather. And
he caught him with a big knee.
Once we were out in the open, I remember catching a nice little knee to the face.
Henderson's in trouble.
I think I recovered a little bit. I had hand control as I was trying to get up, and I lost his hand. And next thing you know, he was on my back choking me right at the end of the round.
He's tapping. Wow. Anderson Silva.
That was one of his strengths, was being able to finish guys when he got them hurt.
The true champion.
He did a good job against me doing that, for sure.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Anderson Silva is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Anybody who tries to debate that is out of their mind.
And my manager saying, you're not going to believe who he fought, going on and on and on. Finally, I'm like, dude, tell me who I'm fighting already. Just give me a name. I can tell someone's big. And he goes, Silva. I'm like, oh, we got Vanderlei. I'm like, awesome.
Right and left and right and
Never in a million years did I think it was going to be Anderson Silva. So when he told me that's who it was, I was completely blown away, and it's nothing I saw coming. Getting the opportunity to fight that guy on such a big stage sometimes doesn't seem real. That was one of the first times that an actual current champion was going into a different division to test the waters. So it was a big deal, him doing it. My coaches did tell me not to throw a single kick the whole first round, and it's exactly what I did. I went out there and threw a kick, and he made me pay for it.
And Irvin's in trouble already. That's Silva trying to finish it. It's done. It is all over.
And then I remember waking up on the ground, looking at my hands, and blood was just pouring out of my face. I think it had more to do with Anderson Silva setting me up. He backed away from me, and he very slowly switched his stance. Not like a normal quick switch, he slid his leg back, and I think that was a trap of his. And it's exactly when I went in, I fell for it. I didn't listen to my coaches, and I was out before I hit the ground. I think it was 15 or 16 stitches I have right across my cheek right here. I think it's my favorite scar I have.
Any mistake you...
Quick technicians that are good counter fighters are like my nemesis. So, I mean, I was hoping never to fight Machida.
He's getting teed off on. He's done.
And then, you know, I got Anderson, which is actually worse.
Upcoming fight with maybe pushing the pace.
Well, they wanted a big, slow guy to follow Anderson around and make him look real good. And they're like, Forrest is a big, slow guy. He takes a beating well. I'll get him to do it. He's stupid. And I'll do all right. I don't worry about it.
A wild madman in Forrest Griffin.
The worst thing you can do against a guy like Anderson Silva is just charge in and try to land big shots on him. That's his dream opponent.
Wow, he's standing right in front of him.
I was obviously nervous, and I just started throwing fucking hammers at nothing. And then he catches me.
Oh, down goes Griffin!
It's the ones you never see that hurt you, and I never saw any of them coming.
That's what happens when a guy like Forrest fights a guy like Anderson. Look at him, he's giving him his hand. Oh, man.
I get up, and again, what do? I tap his glove and, like, acknowledge, like, oh, okay, you want me to get up? Sure, I'll get up. Wherever you want me, man. You do what you want to do. So immediately you think about it. He's literally telling me what to do. And you think about that mentally. He's telling me, hey, I want you to move this way, so I'd move that way, you know. And that's, just never do that.
And again,
Forrest Griffin, but this is one of the most embarrassing knockouts I think we've ever seen.
So here's what happens when you got a guy like Anderson. There's definitely that aura. He's untouchable. You don't see him bleed. You barely see him sweat. Guys are afraid to fight him, as they should.
I'm on a fishing boat in the Pacific Ocean. We're poaching lobsters. It's at night, too. We're cooking them up right there on the boat. Melting butter and everything. And I get a call from Dana White. I have scuba gear on and everything that says he wants me to fight Anderson Silva in a couple weeks. And right there, off the fishing boat, I accepted that fight. I don't know if you heard I got called up to fight Anderson Silva. I need all the help I could get. So
I've got some great advice. Have you seen when I fought him?
Yes, I did.
Do not do that. Do the opposite of what I did. Boom.
You know, I'm just hoping to God Seagal's not in his corner for this fight.
I mean, you don't have a chance if he is, let's be honest.
The fight was down in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So that was awesome.
Good underhooks by Anderson.
I'm in there with the Michael Jordan of the sport. It's a big moment. Really, my plan was to not fight him the way he wanted to fight me and kind of make it in his face.
Bonner stand right in his face.
Uglier, get off strikes, clinch him, look for takedowns. Just don't give him the range and let him get comfortable. I took his counter right hand.
Counter.
You know, his good punch that he puts people away with. It was nothing.
You would think if Bonner has a chance, the only way is that Anderson stands in front of him and lets Bonner tee off on him, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Look up at the clock and, oh my God, 30 seconds left. And the thought went through my head that this isn't that bad. I got this. So that was my mistake, and he made me pay. No matter how much heart you have, you get a jump knee from Anderson Silva in the solar plexus, and you're going fetal.
And Bonner crumples under one brilliant blow by the master.
That's Anderson. He finds that tiny little window, and then boom, fight's over. I thought at the very least I'd give him a Chael type of fight and lose like Rocky, and I had a great promo to cut afterwards in Portuguese, so... Yeah, if there's one, you know, when I look back on big regrets in my life, I didn't get to cut that promo.
What were you gonna say?
Nah, too late.
This isn't a fight that's gonna be tit for tat. People say, Chael, you're getting ready for war. Guys, this isn't gonna be a war. This is gonna be a one-sided pounding, and I'm swinging the hammer.
First time I was gonna fight Anderson Silva, there was great buildup for this fight, right? Nobody knew how to do a fight. Nobody did.
I saved Anderson's job. Uncle Dana was going to give him his walking papers, and I begged him, keep him around.
You know, I've been calling this guy out for 4 years, and he still doesn't want to fight me.
My big thing with Anderson was never a confidence that I could go beat him, ever. I'm not a bully. If I knew I could beat him, I wouldn't have wanted to fight him. But I knew I could go compete with him, and I knew I wasn't going to will.
And Chael Sonnen has been motioning to Anderson, calling him to get in here.
So the ref finally said, are you ready? Am I ready? Are you kidding me? Say go.
Oh,
won national championships as a wrestler. He's never wrestled before. This is simple math.
And he's down again.
I'm going to throw him down and beat him up. I'm going to do it for 25 minutes until he gives up.
Back on the feet for the start of round 3.
There was never a point in that fight where I felt comfortable. I mean, there was never a point in a fight where I thought, okay, this one's a lock.
Chael's got him over.
And I never felt like he was a big threat from the bottom, but I never dismissed it. I never relaxed in that fight.
Another round for Chael Sonnen in the books. This is 4-0 in my opinion.
So I'm going into the 5th round, and I'm just telling myself, I got to get him down.
Oh, he tagged him! Again, he got him!
I can take him down one time, he will never get up.
I mean, is it too early for Chael to start celebrating?
And towards the end of the fight, he started to set up a triangle.
Triangle, watch out! Triangle, this is trouble!
And I just didn't react to it.
He's got his legs across. That's what's... He's down! It's all over!
I just didn't see a lot of that offense from him early in the contest, and I wasn't doing anything different in the last round than I was in the first 4. Whether he was saving something or whether he just had never fully committed to something until he went for that triangle, we'd have to ask him. Final score was, I hit him 311 times, he hit me 11. But I will tell you, those hurt, man. He never touched me once that didn't matter. I had stitches on both sides of my head.
Wow, that's nasty.
You were elbow this side, cut. He kicked me one time in the leg. It slowed me down for a week.
Nice leg kick by Anderson.
Every part of his body was very sharp, and he just didn't really have a way to touch me that didn't affect me. We both left with the same damage. I gotta give him that credit.
The fight that happened tonight is the stuff that makes legends, you know? This guy got roughed up and beat up for 5 full rounds, but finds a way to win.
You either get your hand raised or you don't. And I didn't. And that's it. And I'll live with it. But I'm devastated.
Everybody knows who Anderson Silva is, so it's a huge fight. February 27th, I will put his career to bed. Make no mistake.
Dana's an awesome guy, but he doesn't usually ring me on Christmas Eve to wish me Merry Christmas. Anyway, after a discussion, he tells me I'm fighting Anderson Silva. I'd always wanted to fight him, and of course, you know, he wasn't the champ anymore, but still, for me...
It is the biggest fight outside of a title fight right now.
I mean, I'd never fought for the belt, and to fight Anderson Silva, this was it. This was my world title fight. Yeah, he's a dick. He's a dick. Anderson Silva, when you fight him, is a dick.
Good head movement again from Anderson Silva.
In fact, when we fought...
They're good shots from Bisping.
One of the main things was not allowing Anderson to play his mind games.
Silva looking...
I'm finding my range well. I'm landing shots.
Oh, and again with that hook. Anderson goes down for a second.
But again, this is how good Anderson Silva is. I drop him with a left hook, and then as I'm going in to pound on him, he hits me with a cheeky little up kick. And you don't see that. That's how inventive, creative, and that's how good his reflexes are. So my mouthpiece gets knocked out, right? And I know you Americans all say that we have fucked up teeth, but regardless, mine are pretty good and I want to keep hold of them. So I stop and I turn and I go, ref, my mouthpiece. And I think, shit, I have got Anderson Silva to deal with. So as I look back, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, jumping knee. Michael goes down.
That is...
Drops me like a sack of potatoes. And I'm on the floor, looking like shit. My face is exploded. I'm on the floor and I look up and I say to Herb Dean, I say, I'm not out. And he says, yeah, I know. Fight's not over. Fight's not over. I'm glad the third round happened. I'm glad I had to fight through that adversity. I'm glad that my face was falling apart and it was a total bloodbath.
Oh, throw kick from Anderson Silva.
Because it makes it cooler. And anytime you're going to fight through adversity and there's that kind of storyline, it just makes the fight way better. Afterwards, we went backstage and we both needed stitches. And I was backstage and I needed more stitches than Anderson, funnily enough. But on the other side of the curtain was Anderson. He was right there. We shook hands through the curtain, you know, but that was it. You know, it was all respect. Yeah, listen, Anderson Silva is a legend. He had a legendary career. He is in discussion for the greatest of all time. And getting the win, it was an amazing feeling.
Everybody understood it's you two, and you're going to end up back in there sooner or later.
How much more dominant could Chael Sonnen actually be? He brutalized him for over 4 rounds.
Is Steven Seagal in his corner? He is. Oh, my goodness. Maybe we'll see some Aikido tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
My big problem going to the second fight is I lost respect for him in the first fight. First fight was one of the easier fights I've ever had. I've never had a 10-8 round in my life. I had 2 10-8 rounds in one fight.
Again, Sonnen pushes forward.
I've never gone into a fight confident. It's never happened. Except for the second fight with Anderson. I'm in here with a bomb.
Look at that. Chael will give him...
I didn't have that same urgency. I didn't have that same fear of Anderson. I didn't have that same respect of Anderson.
Anderson early turning point. That's a knee.
When I went down, I remember seeing him, and I remember his eyes. They were surprised I was down, and he gave me a moment to get up. And I elected to stay there. That was my choice.
Looking to finish the fight. Chael's in trouble. It is all over.
Generally, when a guy is better than everybody else, he's not tougher. Because he doesn't need to be. You only need to be one of the two. You be tougher than everybody, you can be the champion. You be better than everybody. The guy's never two. He's never both of them. He doesn't need to be. That was what I had wrong about Anderson.
And he's getting beat up like we've never seen before.
I appreciate his skills, but so what? I respect his heart. I respect a guy that will hang in there. I respect a guy that will come back.
Triangle, watch out! Triangle!
That was something I didn't know about him. I knew he was a good fighter. I didn't know he was a tough guy.
I think what Anderson Silva accomplished can't really be put no words or measured with title defenses or, championship belts.
What we are looking at right here is a very unusual athlete, the kind that comes along once in a lifetime.
I always describe him as a Michael Jordan of the sport, a generational type of fighter.
He became kind of just like in everyday conversation where, it's like he's the Anderson Silva of something.
This guy's striking is like a ballet of violence.
And it also turns out he loves the sport, right? When you have a guy that's fighting in there in his 40s, it's because he loves the sport. He's doing something that he's truly passionate about. And I think that's a very cool thing.
If you go through his record, it's just champion after champion, challenger after challenger.
Just barely says Adesanya.
I respect Anderson. I appreciate him. I appreciate what he did for my life. He changed my life. He gave me an opportunity. Whether he wanted to do it or not, he did it. And then he did it again. Whether he wanted to do it twice or not, he did it twice.
And honestly, I wouldn't be doing this fucking interview if it wasn't for Anderson. But Anderson Silva's earned the right. He's earned my respect. Every fighter should feel the same way.
Listen, I wish Anderson all the best. I really do. And I want to say thank you for entertaining all the UFC fans for over the years and the performances that he put on. And I got to say, for that, he will always have my respect.
That is the greatest fighter of all time, period. Anderson the Spider Silva.